rationale for this is to teach students about life lessons that they're not necessarily going to be exposed to at home. This is definitely a time to plug into the hidden curriculum and get your students thinking about how to become better people. The first day is the importance of writing thank you notes. What we're going to do is basically explain to the students how to do this and why it's a good idea to do it. First, I would address the students by telling them that one small thank you note, taking 5 minutes out of your day, can really mean a lot to the person that you write the note to. I know in my case, I got a $6,000 scholarship because I wrote a thank you note one time. So, that's a big deal. So, for the procedure, we're going to do the 7 steps to writing excellent thank you notes. And then we're going to take those steps, and as a class, we are going to write a thank you note to our principal, telling them, thanks for doing such a great job running the school. Then, as a group, everybody's going to create a thank you note and send it to a family member or a friend and thank them for something that they've done in their life. And we're going to actually send those out. It's not just going to be a practice. We're really going to send those and see if it impacts the person that they send it to. And overall, this is just a great way to show students that writing can make a big difference in somebody else's life, and there's never too many ways to say thank you.
Students in middle school as well as elementary school are really active, whether through physical activities, outside or indoors. They don't wash their hands enough as they probably should. So one of the reasons why I did this lesson. Now when I start the lesson, I'm going to be standing outside, and every time a student comes in, I'm going to shake their hands. When all the students come in, I'm going to mention that right before class, I sneezed twice and I didn't wash my hands, which is kind of gross. Alright, that's going to lead kind of the procedure of talking about the importance of washing hands. We're going to visit a website that talks about what happens when you don't wash your hands very often, how it can lead to problems, not just in social etiquette, but also to germs. You can give other people colds, illnesses, something you really don't want to do. Next, everyone's probably had an experience, even in middle school at this point, of students where they had an unpleasant handshake, kind of grimy hands, oily, slimy, very unpleasant experience. What they're going to do is they're going to write on that experience without their names, and once they're done, for about a couple sentences, they're going to trade it with another person and then read about other people's experiences with people that don't wash their hands. This way the students can get an understanding of why it's really important to wash their hands and what that can mean to other people. Also, after that, we're going to basically have the students break into teams, and they're going to shake hands with each other with different levels of light, relatively comfortable, and then try to a certain extent, destroy the other person's hand to understand how you're supposed to shake hands with someone appropriately. To kind of end the assignment, I would also hand out a sign language sheet to show the alphabet. While we wouldn't go over it very much, the idea behind that is to show the students the importance of hands in general and how much they can impact, and that's about it.
Realize that little acts of kindness throughout the day can really bring happiness to other people, and I'm going to do a demonstration on how to kindly act to people and how unkindly to act to people, and we're going to have a discussion about it with the students. And then I'm going to read this book called Random Acts of Kindness. It's 7th grade level, and it's about a little girl that goes to school and how she makes friends with students and how she doesn't make friends with students. And I'm going to have the students read along with me as we read it, and then go back and write down everything that they thought was a random act of kindness. And then to conclude it, I want them to take 3 of the random acts of kindness that they wrote down from the book to try to incorporate them into their life that week.
Okay, on day 4, we're going to be talking about proper paper presentation. So, the objective of this is to understand how kind of a teacher thinks about the paper when they receive it. Because a lot of our students, can I borrow this for a second? A lot of the students are like, okay, I'm done with my homework. Okay, when I see this, I'm going to be like, okay, that's great. I'm really excited to grade it. So, we're going to talk about, taking the little shards of paper off the side of it, or putting it in a folder, or doing simple stuff like that that doesn't take any time at all, really changes the teacher's mind when they grade something. So as a teacher, I'm going to have the students prepare something for them to turn in as a fake assignment, and then I'm going to give them my feedback of what I would think as the teacher. So Let's see, what else we have here? Oh, we're also going to do some brainstorming stuff because maybe the students are presenting their papers properly because they don't know what to do. So we're going to give them a lot of ideas and tips on how to do that. And the take-home message for this is an appearance of something really can make a big difference when it comes down to grading.
After the students kind of get settled in the class, I'm going to proceed to have a fake phone conversation. I'm just going to talk to a friend and go, "Hey, what's up?" Look around the class and say, no, I can talk. Hey, what's going on? All right, well, wow, that's great news. What? Now I can talk for a few more minutes. You guys don't mind, right? Okay. I'm going to do this for a couple of minutes, basically to get the message across to the students that sometimes we're just really not good at talking on the phone, especially cell phones. And considering the rampant use of cell phones in earlier age groups, this is becoming kind of a more increasing problem. So after the students kind of giggle or whatever about the kind of inappropriate phone conversation I just had, we're going to discuss the importance of a proper phone call. The components, we're going to visit a website of when to talk on the phone and when not to talk on the phone. And after that, how to talk to people they don't know. It's going to be accompanied with a phone conversation sheet. So the basic components of talking on the phone with someone you don't know, and also a business phone call of when you want to get some information from somebody you don't know, how do you go about doing it. I'll have the students pair off into groups, to two-person groups, and they're going to conduct both sides of the conversation. That way they can understand from the other side of one student will try and get certain information like the date of a conference or something, and the other person is going to have to see if the student does it appropriately or not and gives them the information accordingly. The idea is to get the students understanding that there's ways to talk on the phone with different types of people, and with business type phone calls and people you don't know, you have to have a certain higher level of etiquette and politeness than you normally will with your friends or your parents.
Day 6 is reading directions. I'm going to start the class out by handing out a test. I'm sure one of you guys have had it sometime in middle school. In the directions it will read answer either odd or even questions, but since students sometimes don't read directions, they probably will end up filling out the entire test, and then at the end they'll just say, oh, maybe you should read the directions again, and it'll kind of click in their head. And then we're going to have a discussion and a little PowerPoint, and then we're going to have this activity called George Washington. All students will get a grid like this, and they'll be given directions, and it'll be like, put a dot 3 squares east of the middle dot, and we'll count out the middle dot. And if they follow directions correctly, they would get a picture of George Washington, and I would just assess them informally just on participation. And this is just to reiterate that reading directions is very important.
On the 7th day, we are going to talk about the importance of interacting with school officials. And the objective of this is to have the students communicate with people besides the teacher, because every day they're seeing custodians or secretaries or lunch ladies, and sometimes they don't even give them the time of day, even though these people are really doing important things in their lives. So what I want them to do is develop a relationship with these people. So for this day, I'm going to invite a bunch of school personnel into the classroom, and we're going to set up a panel so that the students can ask them questions about how they would want these students to interact with them on a daily basis. And so on the flip side of that, the panel is also going to say, well, like for example, the lunch lady, I really like when people say thank you when I hand them their food. That's something really simple that if the students do that would make a big difference in the lives of the workers. So as an assignment, an informal assignment, the students would be given the task to communicate with 3 school officials sometime that week, whether it's thanking them for something they do or picking up a piece of paper off the floor in the hallway to help out the custodian. And it's just to show that these small interactions with the people that work at the school can make a big difference.
Middle school students can be very mean to each other. Partially related to the position paper that I did earlier, peer rejection is a very important thing that students may not be aware of that they do to other students. So I'm going to start off the class with basically describing when I was in middle school, an experience that I had when I tried to join a certain club and I was rejected, harshly, and how that made me feel. I'm going to have the students hopefully open up in class and talk about periods of times when they've been rejected recently. And if I don't get enough response from that, I'm going to have the students write up a couple sentences, again the anonymous thing, of times they've been rejected by somebody else. And then I'm going to have the students trade. I'll collect all the papers and then trade them back. And so the students get an understanding of how other students get rejected and things that they may have done in the past to reject other people and they didn't realize it. Because I think one of the major problems with peer rejection is people don't realize they're doing it at the time, because if they did, they probably wouldn't be doing it. So we discuss about being more acceptive of others, whether in various aspects of their life, and social, and also in the classroom. And kind of end it, we'd also do the Beanie Baby tossing in. The idea of the game is to include people, to get as many students as possible involved in saying each other's names and trying to get the game going of how many Beanie Babies they can get up going in the air. So hopefully it'll be an activity that they can understand that it's important and actually fun and helpful to be accepting of other people.
Day 9, we're going to go over making eye contact. I'm going to walk into the room, say everything that we're going to do that day, but I'm going to have my head down and see if anyone really listened to what I said, and we'll have a conversation about it and have them choose what I did wrong. And we're going to have a short slideshow on how to maintain eye contact. And also I have some videos of a girl having good eye contact and one having poor eye contact, so they can see the blatant difference. And we're just going to discuss the videos and what positive outcomes having good eye contact has, like